Well, let me tell you what my observations are, Jeremy, is when we do our job, we look into people's backgrounds, and you've never been in trouble with the police. You're working. That's why I ask you, is there something that...
Anyone who knows me won't be surprised, I'm sure.
So anyone that knows you would be surprised if this happened?
No, I don't think they would be.
Why? Why do you say that?
An ordinary trip to the dentist with the children turned into a tragedy for the Beagle family. 22-year-old Jeremy Webster got angry at the Beagle's car that cut him off, followed them to the parking lot, where he shot the mother, 3 children, and 1 witness, resulting in the death of 1 child. Jeremy was diagnosed with a bipolar disorder, which he tried to use to avoid a guilty verdict. However, after examination by several psychiatrists, opinions on his diagnosis were divided. Today we'll watch his interrogation right after the incident, and we will be able to draw our own conclusions. Was he aware of his actions or not?
Okay. I'm recording what we're talking about. I just turned the recorder switch on. And what I wanted to do was introduce myself to you. And I wanted to talk to you about why you got arrested tonight. Okay?
Am I under arrest?
You are under arrest. Okay? So, number one, I want to make sure that you're okay. You haven't probably had water in a while. And when's the last time you had something to eat?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you hungry? You feeling okay right now? I mean, are you real hungry or are you going to be okay?
I got to eat eventually, but I'd rather just deal with whatever's got to be dealt with.
Okay, great.
During interrogations, we can often see suspects being offered a glass of water. This is done, among other things, to collect the suspect's biomaterial, because he has the right to refuse to provide it. The glass left by him no longer requires permission.
Well, again, I'm a detective here at Westminster PD. Matt, my partner, same thing. June 14, 2018, it's about 8:30 p.m. And again, you're at Westminster Police Department. I'm going to read this form to you. I'm going to put it right in front of you so you can read it as well, okay? And can you read and write the English language, okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right. How far did you go in school? Did you graduate from high school?
I got my GED and started college.
Okay. Where'd you go to college? Okay. Well, Jeremy, what I'm going to do is I'm going to read this to you. I've got your name and your date of birth and your age, my name, the date. I'm going to read to you from here down. It says, I'm a law enforcement officer. I want to interview you or talk to you about a shooting. But before you're asked any questions, you must understand your rights. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to speak with an attorney and have him present during questioning. If you cannot afford an attorney, the court will appoint you one for you free of charge. You have the right to stop this interview at any time. And another thing I'll tell folks that I chat with is if there's anything you don't want to talk about or you don't have to answer questions, you can ask me questions. If I ask you a question you don't want to answer or you don't have an answer, just say, I don't have an answer for that, okay? Do you understand what I just read to you? Is that a yes?
Yes.
Okay. This right here says, I understand my rights have been explained to me. With these rights in mind, I'm willing to answer questions at this time. If that's the case, if you would like to tell me your side of what happened, and I would like to ask you those questions and hear that, please sign right there.
I should definitely have a lawyer.
Okay.
And I don't currently have one.
Okay. Okay.
But once there's a lawyer here.
Okay. Okay. I can't question you because you don't have a lawyer, so we're finished here. And what's going to happen is you're going to go to the Adams County Jail right now. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Any questions you have for me? Okay. All right. Well, it is 8:39, so we were only here just a couple of minutes. So what I'm going to have a couple officers come back in here and they'll take you to another area. And it might be a little while before they transport you to the jail. So you'll just have to be patient, okay?
What,
Sorry, you asked me a question. What'd you say?
what am I under arrest?
You're under arrest for murder.
Murder?
Yes.
Stand up for me real quick. Okay, step away for me. Just want to see something. Clear.
Okay.
I'll talk about it. We do hand swabs and all that stuff. It's your help. Okay, put your hands on your back for me. Thanks. Am I wrong on that? Stop it, Doc. Okay. This one fuzz. All right, those were shot. Yeah, thank you, Chin.
Okay. You can go ahead and take him. You got him out. Okay, Jeremy, it's 8:52. It's just a couple of minutes since you were in here. I just went back to the processing room where they photographed you. And the officer that just brought you in told me that you told him that you wanted to say some things to me and you wanted to talk, correct?
That guy just now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The officer in there that was going to take your picture?
Yeah.
Okay. And I approached you and I said, is this true? Do you want to talk to me? And you said, yeah, I'd like to discuss this. I want to make a statement.
Yeah, I at least want to. I'll listen. I want to at least listen to what you have to say, and
Okay.
maybe I'll say something.
Okay. Well, that's fair.
We have just seen excellent work by the detectives. They managed to push the suspect into interrogation without a lawyer. Remember how they told Jeremy that they would take him to jail. It had an effect, and here he is already willing to talk, just not to go there.
Okay. If you understand that and you're willing to make the statement with me, I need you to sign right there. Would you please date that? You know what today's date is? It's the 14th of June. Okay. And I'll write the time on there. It's about 8:53 p.m. Okay. Do you need another water while we're chatting here?
Yes, please.
Okay. I'll get you one. Yep.
You want one?
Yeah, I'll take one too. Okay. It's very important for me to hear what you have to say. I know there's typically when I deal with people that come in here, there's two sides to every story. And I don't know a whole lot about you. I'd like to learn a little bit about you. And what can you tell me about today? What do you want to tell me about today?
I'm just really tired.
Okay. Why are you tired?
Always tired.
Why are you always tired? Here you go. How long have you been tired? Okay.
I have a feeling that Jeremy decided it would be more beneficial for him to play crazy, and that's why he returned for questioning.
When I was standing in here, you asked me what you're under arrest for, and I told you. How did that make you feel?
It just doesn't feel real.
Okay. How does it feel?
A dream,
Feels like a dream?
like a really bad dream.
So you do feel bad right now?
That's true. Yeah.
Okay. Let me ask you this. How do you feel about what happened today? I'm just asking for your honest feeling. You said it's like you had a bad dream and you're feeling bad.
I just don't know where to start, to tell you the truth.
Did you start feeling bad when you were in Westminster today? What purpose did you have coming to Westminster today?
I was working.
Oh, okay. Where do you work?
Right now I'm working for my cousin remodeling houses
Oh, where's that?
all over Denver.
How long you been working for your cousin?
A couple months.
What kind of remodeling do you do?
Kitchens and basements.
So that was at 8:30. Now, when you drove down from Colorado Springs, were you alone or did you have a work buddy with you?
From Colorado Springs, I drove up alone.
Okay. Okay. So how long did you work today? All day? Just a few hours?
All day.
Okay.
4:30.
Okay. Okay. So you worked all day and then you got off. So when you left, where did you go?
I drove home.
Okay. What route do you take when you go home?
Whatever the GPS tells me, because of the
Oh, okay. So you got GPS on your phone? Now, do you have your phone with you?
Oh, the cops have it.
Oh, they do? Okay. I didn't know that. Okay. So the GPS told you how to go home. So do you know what road you took home tonight?
Bunch it just got me on a bunch of like all over the place because of how bad the highway was.
Okay. Was there some construction that you had to drive through?
There was a lot of stuff.
Okay. Well, why don't you tell me what happened when you were driving? Before all this stuff happened, why don't you tell me? When you're driving home, before you got over there where all this stuff happened, I have some information that there might have been something that happened before all of this, maybe some kind of a traffic altercation or some person road raging you or something. Tell me about that.
I don't know.
Okay. And you said it's almost like a bad dream. Tell me the parts of this that you do remember then. Tell me the stuff you do remember.
Pay attention to Jeremy's reactions. He behaves as a person who has done something terrible should, and importantly, understands and remembers that he has done something terrible.
Well, it's real important for me to hear your side, Jeremy. Okay? I truly believe that there's two sides to every story.
Just don't know.
Do you know why this happened?
No.
So did you just kind of snap?
I have no idea what happened or what's happened. Now I have dreams like this all the time. I just started the medicine last night to stop.
What kind of medicine did you start last night?
Oh, the name of it. They'll find it in my appointment for my surgery.
Okay.
For the last few months now.
Last 2 months? And what kind of doctor is?
A few months since March.
Since March? Okay. What kind of doctor?
He's a psychiatrist.
Okay. And he issued you a prescription. Okay. How often do you take this prescription?
I just took the first one of that last night. There were a bunch of different ones. But
Okay. What time last night?
right before bed.
What time did you go to bed?
Then or midnight.
Well, let me tell you what my observations are, Jeremy, is when we do our job, we look into people's backgrounds, and you've never been in trouble with the police. You're working. That's why I ask you, is this something Is there something that,
Anyone who knows me won't be surprised, I'm sure.
so that anyone that knows you would be surprised if
Not
this
me.
happened?
No, I don't think they would be.
Why? Why do you say that?
It's like from before this and after this and during. Well, I just don't know where to start.
No, I
To give
understand.
you the full picture.
I understand that, and I know there's probably a lot. And
I just want to wake up.
okay, I've got a lot of time to listen.
I've been losing my mind for years.
Okay.
Slowly.
So tell me about that. What makes you say that?
As a rule, a person with mental illness in an acute phase does not consider himself abnormal. Here, in the contrary, is the opposite fact.
Just always like up in the head. Always been trying to get better, but just up in the head. I thought I was doing good. Thought I had it. Thought
Did that lady trigger something tonight? Is that what triggered this? Is it what she said to you, or when she got out of her car, or what? Well, it matters to me. I want to help you. Tell me what she did. Tell me what she did.
she didn't do anything when she was done.
So
It was like I was watching like third person.
okay, tell me what you saw from third person. When she pulled into that parking lot and got out of the car, what did she say to you? Did she say something to you?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Okay. And she got out of her car, and did she approach you? Or did she just stand by her car? What did she do after the interaction between you and her in the parking lot? Did she just walk away? Or did she raise her arm up and do something? What happened after she started walking away? We've kind of got everything pieced together. We kind of already know what happened, Jeremy. We want to know why, and that's why I'm asking you.
I'm hurt in the head.
Because you're fucked in the head?
Just know I've been. You see, I was doing great.
When did you start doing bad? You said you were doing great. Was there a point where you started feeling bad?
Oh, everything's been fucked, and I've just a glimmer of hope.
Okay. Let me ask you this, Jeremy. Did you get the gun before you were kind of feeling bad, or did you get it after you were feeling bad?
I don't remember any the details of that.
So do you just remember having the gun and you don't remember where you got it?
I remember seeing from first person, watching a gun get shot at people.
Okay, go on.
Oh.
So you saw a gun shooting people.
That's exactly what happens in my dreams every night. My camp.
When you saw this,
Only as the situation progressed that I realized that it was real.
when did you realize it was real?
And the cops pulled me over on the road. I wasn't sure if I just imagined it or not.
Okay. What did you think you imagined? Tell me what you thought you imagined.
The devil.
Tell me what you remember seeing.
So if you're seeing it right now. Are you? You seen it play out in your head? Tell us what happened. Go home. What are you seeing happen? Just explain it out loud. You're not a bad guy. You said you feel bad. So just either did it. Yeah. What happened with the gun today? You guys know it. We'd like to hear from you. This happened. We just have to deal with it. Okay. We're here to listen to you. I know you're a good guy down deep. I heard it before. It does stuff.
Jeremy claims that he saw dreams of shooting people and at some point began to confuse them with the reality. He looks upset, lost. But let's observe his body language. He grabs his head with his hands, hides his face. This suggests that he is feverishly thinking about how to get out of this situation and not go to jail, rather than truly regretting and worrying.
Just happened so fast. What happened? We weren't there, so I know you didn't want this to happen. But it did. So what happened? You clearly feel bad, so let's just deal with this now. Try. That's the best way to deal with this is we just gotta get all out in the open. Okay? You're not a bad guy. I know. Yeah. I know. You just took over. I didn't have any control. Well, then what happened? Nothing.
We know this lady came out of the car and said some things to you, and you stayed in your car. That's what she told us. The lady. They got out of the car. Is that true? Did she get out of her car and you stayed in your car at first?
Oh, where all I could see. What do you see? All I could see is people getting shot. I don't.
How many people did you see getting shot?
No.
More than one?
More than one.
More than two?
What do those people look like? Well, I still get a phone call at some point.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And will I still get to eat at some point?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm just nervous about ever being in police custody.
Sure. We understand that. Again, it's really not a big question for us as to what happened. Very important to us to hear from you. Okay.
So much less to do with,
So much less to do.
so much less to do with that. Whatever, what did it?
Can I just ask you a couple questions? Maybe
Yeah,
maybe a yes or no.
Yeah.
What did you do with the gun?
I didn't feel like I was doing anything.
Well, I guess I need to clarify. After you left, what did you do with the gun? Did you leave it in your car? Did you put it someplace else? Part of our concern is if a lot of times people will panic and maybe get rid of a gun, and we don't want a kid to get a hold of a gun and hurt themselves. And if that's the case, there's no law against throwing a gun out the window. If that happened, you need to tell us, or if the gun is in the car. Do you understand how we'd be concerned about kids getting hurt?
Shouldn't have had a gun. I should have already been in the fucking movie. That's that. That's what.
Well, Jeremy, we see a lot of people that we wouldn't even give a chance to talk to. We see people that are so mean and angry and bad that we don't give them an opportunity to talk to them. Okay, we don't see that with you. Just like Matt
I'm so
said.
tired of everything. Happened so fast it didn't feel real.
Okay. Was there?
I didn't wake up after. I'm still here.
Okay.
So what happened? You know what happened. Why don't you tell us? Why are you telling me? I want to hear you say it. I just want to hear from you. I don't know exactly what happened. I wasn't there. I just know. What do you know? I can see it playing at your head. No, it's just. I saw that yesterday. I started taking something to help me stop having violent, surreal nightmares that make me not get any actual sleep. And then today this happens, and now it's a permanent condition. Just felt like my dreams.
I'm sorry. Does this match one of your dreams?
Every one of it does.
Tell me about your dreams.
I'm always being pursued and like shot at, and it just varies, but they're always really violent, usually heroically violent.
Tell me what that means.
Like saving people.
Okay. How do you save them?
By killing bad people.
Okay.
But they just vary night to night.
Okay. Do all of them involve violence? Do any of them involve firearms, guns? Yeah. All of them? Okay.
I knew this would happen. And everyone in my life knows.
Who in your life knows this?
Just anyone and everyone who knows me knows that I struggle with this.
Would your mom know it?
Everybody knows. Everybody who's met me, it doesn't take long.
Well, earlier you said it was okay if I asked you a yes or no question, and you thought that'd be a good idea. So remember that question I asked you about her getting out of the car?
Yeah.
Did you agree with that she got out of the car first?
I don't know.
Okay. Would you agree that she said something to you and maybe flipped her arm up in the air? And I don't know. Did she?
I'm sure she called me something at some point.
Okay.
I don't know.
Violent dreams are indeed characteristic of people with bipolar disorder, but not only for them. They are also seen in people with borderline personality disorder, schizophrenics, and healthy people who are tired or stressed.
Well, can I ask you another yes or no question?
Yeah, you can ask whatever you want.
Okay. Well, when you got out of your car, witnesses said you had the gun in your hand. And then you walked towards her. Do you remember that?
I didn't do anything.
Okay. Well, you can not feel anything and still react. So is it say you're numb when this is happening?
Probably a good word for it.
Probably a good word for it? Okay. So was it like shooting at something that maybe wasn't real?
None of it's real. None of this is real.
Well, when you were shooting at her, did it seem like it was not real?
100%. Right now, I'll just hope that I wake up at some point. But I don't think that's going to happen. I got tricked.
So you were driving the Toyota Camry when you pulled into that parking lot when the lady came out of the car and was talking with you. You said she might have said a bad word. No, it matters to me what you have to say. We know that there was some kind of a thing that went on with her driving.
Whatever it was, I should have just driven away.
And that's probably a true statement, sure.
Just wasn't fucking there. It happened.
When she was driving, is that what?
I'm going to be harmless all the time.
But you did have a gun today, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you normally keep the gun in your car or do you keep it in your house?
Both. I take it with me. But
Do you have the, I know I do this for my guns. I have the original box for them. We don't think you're a bad guy. Sometimes we talk to a lot of people where certain things, and you're telling us that you've had these dreams, and I don't know, we all drive, and a lot of people get involved in these traffic things, and those are triggers for a lot of people getting into altercations.
coming. Should have seen it.
What didn't you see coming?
Losing my presence in my own body.
Okay.
This will be the main strategy of his defense. However, he does not resemble a person suffering from bipolar disorder. I remind you, the interrogation takes place on the day the crime was committed, and we do not see a bipolar patient in an acute stage and moreover not understanding what he was doing. But here, we see a completely adequate guy who is aware of his actions and worries about the consequences. Of course, there are different stages of the disease, different periods. Let's watch further.
What would you like to tell those people that you shot?
Are they alive?
Some of them are. This is your chance to say how you feel about something that happened.
It's justified.
It's not justified.
Oh, I can't justify anything. I lost my presence, and I'm be held responsible.
Do you think that this terrible thing that happened is, do you know the difference between right and wrong? Do you give me an example of right and wrong, or do you know the difference between
What happened today was wrong.
Okay, thank you. That's a very, okay. Do you think it's something that is against the law? Or is that a stupid question?
Fucking real life, big time.
After this was over and you left, how did you feel?
I felt like nothing.
You felt nothing? Did you drive away at normal highway speeds or did something else happen?
I think it was normal.
Did you think that what you
Putting it together in my head,
getting it together in your head?
trying to think of for a long time. It's been like there's been this external force.
Did you think when you left that the police would be looking for you?
No, it's just tough because I'm just clearly not.
What did you feel when you left? What were you thinking?
But that didn't happen.
But you knew it did happen.
I wasn't sure.
What finally made you decide that this was real?
The cops pulled me over. I was like, yeah, that happened.
So when they pulled you over, what did you think?
Hope they don't shoot me.
Why would they want to shoot you?
Pointing a bunch of guns at me. I don't know. But it certainly felt like they were hoping I'd make a move or something.
You didn't take your gun out of the car when they stopped you, did you?
No.
Do you think it went somewhere? Is it in your car because we've got your car? Tell me if you can, what you remember when you saw the gun going off, what you saw.
I mean, I saw things, but
you said earlier that it was like you saw a gun, like third person, and you saw the gun shooting.
Like an aperture, whatever it's called, like when your arm's literally disconnected from your body, it looked like. And it just doesn't make any fucking sense.
Okay.
I'm normally a reasonable guy. I don't.
Tell me what you saw, Jeremy, when you said from third person, you saw the gun shooting. Tell me what you remember.
Why is that so important?
Because it tells me that you want to be honest with me and tell me what I already know. And I think you will. I think you're going to. That's what.
I wasn't in control. I feel
Okay.
So guilty, but I just
So you weren't in.
never decided.
So you weren't in control. You felt like you were not in control.
I wasn't in control.
I was watching like it was a dream or a movie.
Tell me what the movie showed in your mind. Tell me what you remember seeing as you were over there. Okay, let me ask you this. The guy in the truck in the parking lot.
I remember a guy in the truck.
You shot at a truck in the parking lot. Tell me about that. We talked to him and he said that he saw you shooting and he was in his truck and he said you guys made eye contact and he thought the reason you shot him is because he saw you. And he backed his truck up and hit something. Remember that?
Yeah, I remember a truck.
Okay. Do you remember shooting at the truck and hitting it? Somebody said you shot a whole bunch of times at him. He said that. Was it because he saw you? Is that what the reason was?
I don't think there was a reason.
Okay. So you just shot at him because he was there? Well, that's a yes or no question.
I guess. Yeah, I guess.
Do you remember him in the truck?
I remember seeing a truck. I remember a truck backing up, hitting something.
What's the next thing you remember? Do you remember standing in that parking lot where that lady pulled into?
I was there. Yeah, I remember standing.
You remember standing there? Do you remember walking towards her? But you remember after her, you walked a certain distance away from your car and then you shot a couple of other people. You remember that? Tell me about that. Tell me what you remember about that.
What?
About after you shot her, you walked past her and you went to another spot out there. You shot a couple of other people. Tell me about what you remember.
I don't remember. The lady. I just don't know like her.
Sure. You remember her having some kids with her that came out of her car?
I remember that being.
Okay. Do you remember when you walked by one of those kids that was laying on the ground?
No. When?
After you shot that lady, you walked past her and then you were still outside but closer to the building and there was one of those kids lying on the ground there. And I've got a couple of people who were there that saw you and what you did.
How do you guys do your fucking job?
Well, what we want to do.
Well, how do you?
Is that a hard one to talk about?
Yeah,
That's fair. If I told you what was described to me as happening, would you answer yes or no so you don't have to describe it?
I
I'd rather hear from you. Or would you rather me tell you what the witnesses saw that happened?
you can say whatever you want.
Well, I'm going to tell you what people have told me. I'm not guessing. I'm telling you facts. But they said after you shot that lady, you walked around and there was a kid lying on the ground and you shot the kid while he was on the ground or shot at him. Tell me about that.
I don't remember that. Oh,
Do you want to know how many people that you shot? You told me it's more than one. If you had to make a guess or if you wanted to tell me, what number would you give me?
2.
More.
3.
More.
4.
Yes. Tell me what you remember about the two kids.
I remember seeing them get shot.
Both of them? And I guess you answered my question. You said you remembered seeing them get shot. Can I assume that means both?
Yeah, 1 or 2.
Okay. Where were they? Were they all outside?
No, it was all in that general area of the cars.
If I showed you, may I show you just a photograph of that area here? And I'll explain that to you. This here is the business right here where you were. And from what witnesses said, you turned into this parking lot right here. Does that look familiar to you? But does it look familiar to you? Was that where you were today?
I'm sure wherever it happened is where it happened.
Okay. Well, this is where it happened right here. I know that for a fact. I wasn't down there myself, but this is printed for me because this is where it happened. And the witnesses said that you drove your car into this parking lot here. The purpose of this is I'd like to know where the lady was, where the guy in the truck was, and where the kids were. If you want to take my pen and just put an X, as you best recall where they were.
How the truck was.
Okay. Just right on there, but like a kind of little rectangle or something.
Truck bumped into that wall.
Okay. Can you make a triangle rectangle for where the truck is? Okay, great. So you bumped into that wall?
Yeah.
Now, is that after you fired shots at him?
I don't know which order everything happened in. It's all very.
Okay. But you saw him back into there. Did you see anybody get out of that truck? Okay. Did you see anyone in that truck?
I think there was a guy in it.
A guy in the truck? Okay. Okay. Did you see anybody else in the truck? Okay. All right. Before that happened, that's when those two kids were back here. Let me back up a little bit. Where did you park your car when you pulled into there, and where was that lady's car? Show me that. Because I am told that she pulled in there first, and then you parked behind her. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, can you draw using rectangles again where that might be? As best you can recall? Okay.
The
Feel free
only thing
to
on my mind is gonna get murdered.
say that again.
Gonna get murdered. It was like in the middle of the parking lot, I think.
Okay. Can you just draw a circle or something where her car was or where your car was? I'm just trying to get reference in my mind from you where you were. We've had witnesses tell us, but I want to hear from you. The circle you just drew, is that your car or her car?
Hers.
Her car? Okay. Okay, I'm gonna just put her car here. And this right here is the truck. I just want to do this so you can see me doing it. Make sure I catch this right. Now, where would your car be?
Kind of behind hers, like
Draw another circle, what behind her is. Tell me about where those kids were, because you said you remembered a couple of kids.
was all in the same area. I think.
Same area. Was it all outside?
Yeah.
Okay. So the truck, the lady in the car, and the two kids were all outside.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever go in that building? Did you ever notice anybody looking out of that building when this was going on?
You understand, right? For a person who says that he did not control himself and barely remembers what happened, he remarkably remembers well where each car was parked and navigates the map pretty well.
What question do you think is on our minds? Is the one question that we would ask?
I don't know.
Why? That's the question we want to know.
Severely mentally ill, and I always, it has so little to do with that, with what happened.
Okay, so
whatever, like, I thought I was doing all right.
okay, this is a yes or no question. When you pulled into that and followed that lady in there, were you angry at what had transpired between you and her?
I don't know if that's the right word.
Did it irritate you? I mean, it did something for you to follow her in there.
She didn't do anything.
Why'd you follow her in there?
No, I mean, she did something, but like not.
What did she do? Because she told me that you guys had words, and on the highway there was maybe some hand signals or gestures. She said that she felt like she cut you off.
Mm-hmm.
And she mentioned something about I used my turn signal when she was talking to you, and she says, "Oh, just leave me alone. I've got kids," or something. Tell me what you remember.
I remember she almost hit me
Where?
on
Okay.
the road.
Okay. So is that why you followed her there to talk to her?
No.
So she almost hit you on the road. What kind of car was she driving?
Oh.
Okay. You did something a lot of people do as far as experiencing some sort of traffic altercation and then,
No, it has not.
well, what does it have to do with?
Any on at any time. Drive so much.
Mm-hmm. Knowing what I just told you about 4 people, is there anything you'd like to say to those people?
I don't think they give a shit what I have to say.
I do. Agreed.
All right, fuck me.
No. We give a shit.
Okay.
What did you say?
I care about what you have to say.
Why?
I think it's a fair question. What would you like to say to those people?
Wish didn't have. Didn't fucking have.
You feel remorse?
Yeah, I mean, I wish it didn't happen.
You know, I haven't looked in your car. If it's in your car, you just need to tell me because we're going to look into your car. I haven't done that yet.
Yeah, I'll save you guys the hassle of sorting through all the bullshit.
Okay.
Probably in the trunk.
In the trunk. Okay.
Yeah.
We're in the trunk.
You know.
Okay. Thank you for that. Are you pay rent where you're living right now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Are you up on your rent?
Yeah. Yeah, everything was going good.
Are you going
I was
to
rebuilding my life from scratch. I was on the December and progressively getting better, keeping everything in check. Take this Like, I don't know what happened because there's no logic or reason
Okay.
to it. Like,
I really need to backtrack to what happened today, and I suspect that a lot of this is in your mind and it's hard for you to talk about. Is that kind of a fair statement?
oh,
Do you wish this all would go away?
just wish when I saw that there was no return tractor trailer on 25 today, that I took it as a sign to take a day for myself that I didn't know I needed. I don't know.
Did you set out to shoot people today?
Fuck no. Fuck no. Absolutely not.
Okay.
It just happened fast and
Would you,
I'm really just concerned for my own safety at this point. Because
tell me about that.
I should have been committed before this and committed myself or been committed by any one of my family members who know that I'm fucked in the head. Or not passed the background check because of the altercation with the Colorado Springs police.
Witnesses said that you shot the lady, and then you walked past her, and they heard some other shots. They didn't know who got shot, but then you walked by the kid that was laying on the ground, and they said you fired one or two more shots at the kid on the ground. Did you know if that kid was already dead, or did you? Why did you shoot when he was on the ground?
The way Webster describes his condition at the time of the crime, the way all witnesses describe everything that happened, is more reminiscent of a borderline personality disorder and problems controlling anger. And all this is no longer mental illness. They do not require medication and do not deprive a person suffering from them of legal capacity.
Well, the lady that talked to us about driving your car by you and talking about the traffic situation, she described it as somewhat of an altercation between you and her, and you said she almost hit you. Is that?
And she yelled something or another, like, fuck you, cocksucker, or another, I don't know what she said.
Okay, you said she said some bad words, and those are bad words. Those are bad words.
Well, I probably told her to fuck herself, move on with the day.
Is that when she got out of the car and was telling you that?
I don't know.
Okay. Is that what triggered this? Were you angry at that point? Were you upset? Were you?
It was just,
Tell me how you felt.
feel anything. I just felt not there. I mean, I guess
You guess what?
anger, but mine.
Okay, that's a logical answer that you felt anger after she said those words.
Oh,
It does matter because I'm trying to find out the why here. I want to know why.
the why is a timeline of my life, I think, that led up to this day. And I think it was something I was trying to avoid. I didn't know this was going to happen, but I knew something eventually could happen because of all of these factors at play. But I've been trying to manage it myself, and I'm not a fucking expert.
Have you ever pulled your gun out on someone in anger prior to this? So this is the first time?
Can we talk about getting some food rails that we've seen?
Yes. I'll be happy to do that. My question is, why did you shoot the others after you shot her? She was the one that angered you and was calling you dirty names.
There's no reason for anyone out there.
Tell me what the reason was, though. There had to be a reason.
I don't believe there was a reason.
Was it
It just
because?
happened.
Okay. Was it because the kids were with her and you were still angry and you wanted to punish her?
Fuck no. Why do I care about any of this?
It's just
The real problem is now the real me's back, and I'm just like, what the fuck?
so you feel like the real you is here right now. You feel like you're in control.
Yeah, but now it's bullshit.
And here, he let it slip, which is why detectives often ask the same questions over and over.
Like, my personality stands from the best to the worst of humanity, and I was trying to get it all under control, and then I didn't see any of this coming. It's almost like predetermined or something. I had no fucking control over myself. And, you know, it was predetermined, like, in some fucked up way. That's what I was trying to explain, why some external force has been guiding me towards this. Like, not. It just fucking happened. Like that.
Okay. You now, since you're more at probably a more relaxed feeling, you said it's more of the real you right now. Do you now remember the 4 people?
There was the lady and her kids in the truck, right?
Yeah, car, yes. Yeah, I'm sorry, lady and the kids, and then the truck, yes.
See, I do remember that.
Okay. Tell me what you do remember now that it's yourself right now.
Still. How many of them are okay?
3 are okay.
What's your goal here?
For you to tell me what I already know. That's my goal.
For what purpose?
To show me that you're honest, you want to help, and so there are no unanswered questions when I leave.
I just want for that not to happen ever again.
Okay, I would agree with that. So you remember the lady and the 2 kids and the guy in the truck. If you had to tell me in a real quick story about what happened, A, B, C, D, you had 4 people. Tell me that right now, and I won't go there anymore. That's all I'm asking you. A, B, C, D.
Let's go get to eat. I
I
don't know if I have appetite.
okay. I'll get you a sandwich or a slice of pizza or something. Okay. Tell me just A, B, C, D, and I won't address that anymore. You pull into the parking lot. She gets out. She says nasty words, called you an effing cocksucker. Tell me what happened.
I just know that I shot the lady, kids, and out the truck. That's what I saw happen. I didn't feel present, but I know that it was me.
Okay. So you shot the lady, you shot the kids. You said kids, plural. So 2 kids, correct?
Yeah, 2 kids, I think.
Okay. And then the truck. You described the truck very well to me when you shot it in. You described the lady. Tell me about the kids. A, B, C, D. Just tell me the kids, where they were and how you shot them. That's all I want to know.
It was just in.
Just tell me as you're walking how this thing happened.
Again, oh, I'm just.
Would it be easier if you wrote it down?
It's like generic, like.
That's okay. I'll take it however you give it to me. If it's generic, that's fine. Just tell me, and we won't revisit that. Go ahead and tell me.
So we've noticed. There's a lady and kid next to her, I think. And then the sidewalk. I think.
Okay. So there's a lady and the kid's next to her. They're on the sidewalk. What next?
Well, that's it.
I want to know what order you shot them.
I don't know.
Okay, you shot the lady.
The lady first, for sure.
Okay, how many shots did you fire at her?
I don't know.
Did you fire one?
Maybe a couple. I don't know.
Okay. And when you shot her, what did you see her do?
Fell to the ground.
Okay. What did she say?
Nothing.
Okay. And then what did you do when she fell to the ground?
Well, I don't know what I'm doing right now, digging my own grave. But
I already know what happened, Jeremy.
I don't know.
What do you mean digging your own grave? What does that mean?
I'm gonna get put to death, stabbed to death. Or a cop will kill me. And they'll fake my suicide.
So she falls to the ground. What do you do? Witnesses tell me you keep walking
Walking where?
in the parking lot towards her after you shot her. And you said the kid was beside her. Is he the first one you shot?
First person or the first kid?
The first kid.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. How many times did you shoot him?
I think, one
Okay. And what did he do?
in the ground.
Okay. And then what did you do? Is he the one that you shot on the ground again?
I really, really, like, really blurry.
Okay. Well, tell me what you remember. You shot him. He went to the ground. What did you do then? Because the witnesses said you walked from there.
It was all right. It was all within such a short area. I wouldn't call it walking. It was all all around that, just right near her car, in front of it, my car, near there.
So you didn't walk very far.
No, I was just still there.
Okay. So after you shot the first kid, what did you do? What did you see? You obviously saw the other kid. What was he doing?
Well, no, maybe standing there.
Okay. You remember how many times you shot him?
Oh,
Once?
probably once. Maybe twice.
Maybe twice? What did he do when you shot him?
Fell to the ground.
Okay. And what did you do?
Left after that.
Some witnesses that were there said that you shot one of these kids while they were lying on the ground. And I'm asking you if you remember which it was, the first one you shot on the ground or the second one you shot on the ground.
I don't know. I really don't know.
Okay. From there, tell me about the truck thing. Are you walking back to your car at that point when you see the truck, the guy in the truck?
Yeah, that had to be on the way out.
Okay. Tell me what you saw and felt when you saw him in the truck when he's looking at you.
Didn't really make eye contact.
Okay. Because he told us that he was looking at you when he was in the truck.
He's probably right. He was
Okay.
more aware of the situation than me.
Okay. And how many times did you shoot at the truck?
A handful,
Handful?
few,
So
5 or
that's
6,
5, 6 times?
few, yeah.
Okay. And that's consistent with what witnesses said. They said you fired quite a few rounds at the truck.
That sounds about right.
Okay. How many rounds does your gun hold?
15.
Okay. Did you have any bullets left after this?
I don't know. You guys will find out.
Did you leave that same magazine in there? Or did you reload?
Didn't reload, no.
Did you have a spare magazine with you?
I didn't even think of it. But but no,
You got one in the front seat with you?
no, in the backpack.
In the backpack?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you keep that gun when you pulled it out? Where was it?
Glove compartment thing.
Glove compartment? And why do you keep it there?
In case, it's a couple of unlikely scenarios that really scare me. Getting robbed or someone trying to kill you or
Okay.
things that I shouldn't have been,
So for self-defense,
yeah.
you keep that?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Okay. So you understand the self-defense laws in Colorado? So do you
In
think...
an instant. In just a fucking instant. And if the gun wasn't there, I would have been good to go, just find a way to deal, cool down. But, there was just some sort of lack of any thinking, like any proper, thinking about if this happens, this is going to happen, and so don't do this.
So in retrospect, now that you're grounded and we're seeing the real you, was this something that was wrong? I mean, could you use the Make My Day law to defend what you did? Is there anything that these people did that would make you use deadly force against them?
The problem is, it's just me. I'm the problem. That's what I've been saying from the beginning here.
Okay.
Knowing that this happened now for sure is
Okay.
I'm mostly just thinking about what I should have done.
Tell me about that.
Well, first off, I shouldn't have came to Westminster today.
Okay.
Maybe I should have quit this job a while ago because it's stressing me out.
What else should you not have done?
Any of it, I don't know.
Okay. Well, let me tell you what, Jeremy, let me go get something to eat.
Sure.
Okay. You're probably hungry.
Yeah.
I'll be right back. All right. I'll be right back. You're okay with water, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
That's all we got right now, so.
No worries.
All right.
Pay attention and how he behaves. He barely holds back anger and is nervous to the point of nausea. His problem is low emotional control and anger. To be honest, I've been waiting for an emotional outburst from his throughout the video.
Oh, fuck me.
Hey, you're not eating. Are you okay? That's actually what we're eating tonight, so you're getting the exact same food we are.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jeremy, you mentioned your therapist and when you were visiting him.
Yeah,
What,
if you want to get into the why, it's going to have a lot less to do with the actual
okay.
situation. So if you, I don't know how much you guys actually care. If you guys want
Well, anything I'm talking to you about, I care.
I've been taught since day one.
What's your therapist again? What's it? And when you saw him, or how many times have you seen him?
Twice a week since the late February, early March.
And are you dedicated on those appointments? You always hit them, you don't miss them?
Yeah.
Since February?
Yeah.
Okay. What has he told you? What's his diagnosis as to why he's prescribing you? He had to tell you something about what's going on.
It's the,
Jeremy was diagnosed with bipolar disorder, also known as manic depressive psychosis, which is when you're either hyperactive, manically active, or lying in depression. People with bipolar disorder are more dangerous to themselves because in depressive phases they are prone to suicide.
And do you know what facility he works for, or?
he's actually closing his practice, but he works for himself.
Okay.
He used to be a VA doctor, which is,
right.
I went to him specifically because I thought he could help me with these fucked up dreams and the derealization and just, wanting to die all the time. And, what else? I don't know. I've just been afraid of myself for a long time.
Okay.
Been trying to find a cure or something. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Okay, no problem. And we're just getting those records from. Thank you. Okay. The other thing I want to ask you is, do you keep? Well, let me backtrack a little bit. You were nice enough to tell me that you put the gun in the trunk and you put it in your backpack. Tell me why you put it there.
I just didn't know what to do.
You didn't know what to do with the gun?
In general.
Okay.
Really hard to explain.
Okay, when did you put it in the trunk?
I kind of tried to just carry on with my normal day. And within 10 minutes, I wasn't sure if it happened or not. It wasn't long after. I had to go back and finish work.
So you went back to finish some work after this?
Yeah, I was out originally to pick up our circular. Another thing, if the circular saw didn't die, I wouldn't have fucking been there. I was supposed to buy a new circular saw.
Okay. So when you left here, where did you go?
Here? Where did I left?
Yeah, I'm sorry. When you left here, where did you go?
Lowe's to buy a circular saw for my cousin.
Where's the Lowe's?
Right around the corner from there.
Oh, okay. Do you know what street that's on?
No, I'm not familiar with the streets yet.
Okay. Did you buy one?
Yeah.
What kind you get? Does he have an office or does he work out of his home?
Oh, he doesn't have an office yet.
Okay. Now, is he the one that sometimes rides with you to the job? I think you mentioned that when you go to work, sometimes there might be somebody going with you.
No, never.
Never. You're always alone.
Sometimes at the job.
He's at the job. Okay. And today you said you came there alone.
Mm-hmm.
You did some work and then you ended up here.
The saw broke and I had to go get it, and then on the way, the lady did something, flipped my switch, and, and that happened, and I, went to get the circular saw and back to work.
Okay. So she flipped your switch. So she did.
That's,
Angry you.
in whatever comparable, mental terms there are for that.
Well, is it fair to say that that pissed you off or it angered you? I hear a lot of people say that.
I don't know what I was doing.
Can you tell me about where you went after Lowe's?
I went back to finish pulling up a floor right around here.
Okay. Are you working in a residence or a commercial building?
Right
Okay.
around.
And you don't know the address of that?
No.
That is, he shot people, then went to the store, bought a saw, and returned to work without even trying to hide. Could it be that he really did not realize what he was doing? Or he understood that if he hid, he would not be able to pretend to be insane at the trial?
Hey, what kind of targets do you shoot at when you shoot that gun?
Like a standard, a pretty standard one.
Like a human silhouette?
Yeah.
Like a human body target? Okay. And you said you've gone to that range a couple of times?
I only went, try to make myself sound better than I am. I only went shooting once.
Okay. How many times did you shoot there?
Once. One time. Or how many rounds?
Yeah, how many rounds?
400, like 400 or something.
Wow, that many?
Yeah, it was fun.
You must be a good shot.
Apparently not.
So 400 rounds. Wow. Well, that's expensive.
Yeah, I can't go shooting a lot because I, rounds down range.
Yeah. So when you're shooting the target, what do you shoot for? On the silhouette, the human silhouette, what part of the silhouette do you aim for?
Depends. Center, like chest and head are the main ones,
Okay.
but mostly focusing on the chest.
Okay. Show me how you shoot. Do you shoot one-handed or two-handed? Like that?
Something like that.
Okay. Okay. Is that the easiest way for you to shoot?
Well, my friend was studying to be an FBI agent, and I went shooting with him, and he showed me that particular.
Okay. Was it as soon as you left?
I figured, eventually. I didn't know when. Just figured they'd do their job.
What were your plans in your mind after that, as far as what you were going to do, knowing the police were going to get onto you?
Oh, just kind of go home and see my cat for the last time. Maybe eat something. Breathe fresh air.
So when you said you're going to go there for the last time, what did you think was going to happen?
Say they're gonna get.
What were they going to get you for? For what?
From that.
Okay, for shooting those people.
Yeah.
So you
It didn't
knew.
feel real, but it gradually.
Let's remember what we heard at the beginning. I don't remember anything. I didn't realize myself. Now he essentially admits that he perfectly understood what he was doing and what consequences it would lead to. The detectives worked great.
So you knew the police were going to catch up to you, and you knew that you would be held accountable for shooting those people. Is that a fair assessment?
Of course. Of course,
So you knew what you did was against the law at that point. You knew.
afterwards, yes,
How soon afterwards did you feel that?
I was back at work, because the whole time I just started questioning whether I had just imagined it. You know? But on my way home, I saw the helicopter. And it was, just knew it was following me.
What did you do when you saw the helicopter?
Just driving. See if I can get home to see my cat, where I have the.
Or you have to what?
Whatever comes next. On any of this.
Well, Jeremy, I've got a detective that wants to come in and show you something. And he wants to talk to you a little bit. He's been working with me on this. Okay. So his name is Mike Lynch, and he'll be in here in just a minute.
Sure. No worries.
And feel free to eat there. And if you need more water, I'll get you another bottle of water, okay?
Yes, please.
So Jeremy, I actually been watching the whole interview, so I've kind of watched you through this whole thing. I know what's been going on, so you don't have to repeat a lot of stuff. I'm not going to ask you to repeat it. A few things I want to ask you about, though. You're having a little bit of a difficult time trying to express your feelings about why you wanted to shoot these people, right?
I didn't feel. I just feel like feelings aren't relevant. Something just took over, and it was like tunnel vision or watching a movie or a dream. All my decision making stopped.
But you made some conscious decisions about what you did this afternoon.
How so?
You followed a lady in a vehicle into a parking lot. You got out of your vehicle, you approached her with a handgun, and you shot her. That's a conscious decision, isn't it?
I would never make that decision.
We did.
It happened.
Yes, it did.
I didn't make the decision.
What do you mean? Explain that to me. What do you mean you didn't make the decision?
I don't feel like anything's.
Isn't the truth of the matter that you got so pissed off at her for the traffic thing?
Fuck no.
Well, that's what made you mad.
Oh, it wasn't. Shit happens 50 times a day.
Well, it did it enough that you followed her. She cut in front of you in the traffic construction down there. You got pissed off at her. I mean, you already admitted in the interview earlier that you might have said something like, fuck you. So you got pissed off at her for cutting you off, right? Isn't that what prompted this whole thing? In fact, this isn't the first time you've had a traffic altercation where you've gotten out and yelled at a lady, is it?
Sorry?
This isn't the first time that you've had a traffic disagreement, altercation with somebody where you've gotten out and yelled at somebody.
What do you mean?
Has it happened before? Where you've gotten out and yelled?
Absolutely the first. This, whatever happened today is the first time I've ever had anything significant.
Okay.
Right.
But it's kind of a pattern in your life, isn't it, that you get pissed off in traffic? People cut you off, people piss you off, you get mad at them.
That's probably true for anybody, right?
No, I don't think it is. I think there's a lot of people that drive with a mellow attitude knowing that traffic is going to be traffic and you just sit back and let it happen. But that's not your attitude, is it?
Depends on the day. That's the attitude you described is the attitude I try to keep. That's what I've been working towards.
Do you play a lot of video games?
Not anymore.
Did you used to?
Yeah, when I was a teenager, I played video games.
Been years?
Yeah, I can't really get into them anymore. So, I mean, I tried to play a couple new games like the beginning of the year, but I just can't enjoy them or anything.
Do you go out on dates at all?
No.
How do you feel around women? What did you think about when you hear about people who go into schools and shoot kids?
I think they fit a very similar profile to me, and it's been scaring me for years now.
So this is something that isn't new to you. This is something that you've been feeling for a while.
It's something that I've been trying to stop from ever happening, but I've made a couple fatal flaws in living my life, like giving into fear and paranoia and owning a gun and carrying it around.
In essence, Jeremy is a typical mass murderer. He is a ticking time bomb, ready to explode at any moment. We see the interrogation of a mass murderer, which is rare due to their tendency to end their lives by suicide after a shooting.
What would you say to this woman if you were to stand in front of her today? Do you recognize her? She look familiar to you?
Is that the lady from today?
This is a lady that you put 4 bullets into.
Tell her I'm sorry.
You tell her you're sorry? Why? Why are you sorry?
Because she,
Well, you made a pretty conscious decision to try to kill her.
I did not.
You didn't? How is
Wasn't there.
How is not following somebody in the parking lot, getting out with a gun and shooting her not a conscious decision?
I don't think either you or I could. There was something not there.
Well, what do you explain that to me? I don't understand what you're saying. Something not there.
I wasn't there. It was just,
So I think that's a cop-out. Don't you? I mean, in reality, isn't that just a cop-out?
what is this?
What made you do this today? Tell me what made you do this today.
I don't know. I could be asking myself that for a long time.
I know you have to have some explanation in your mind. There's some reasoning going on in your brain as to why you did this today. You made the conscious decision to buy a gun. You made the conscious decision to start carrying it with you. Right?
For defense, so not for this.
Why did you feel like you needed a gun for defense? Has anybody ever bothered you before?
What's a scary part?
The world's a scary place. You ever been assaulted or hurt?
It's none of your business.
Well, why?
What do you care? This guy always pretends to care. What's the interesting dynamic here? What are you doing? What's your angle?
I'm trying to figure out what's going on in your brain as to what made you do what you did.
Are you a doctor?
I'm not. I'm a detective. Okay? I've been a detective for a long time. This is an interesting dynamic with me having to show you pictures and trying to get some emotion out of you as to why you would kill some people. This young man right here, his name is Vaughn. That was her son. He was laying on the ground when you walked up past him and put a bullet right in his head. He's dead.
showing photos of victims or items from crime scenes to criminals, hoping to elicit a reaction, and confession is an old and effective technique that was used back in the 1970s by the notorious John Douglas. He is the one who came up with the idea to interview maniacs and, by understanding their psychology, solve similar crimes.
You took this kid's life.
Pay the price for that big time.
What do you think that price should be? What should that price be?
I'm never gonna, there's death, there's jail, there's a loony bin. All the three things that I've been just afraid of. I'm trying to prevent.
Well, what do you think this kid was feeling today?
How he felt?
Yeah.
Scared.
I want you to paint a picture right now in your own mind about what happened this afternoon. Let me kind of help you paint that picture, okay? You're in a very angry state, swearing at a woman, pulling out a gun, shooting her. She's got 3 kids with her. You shoot 2 of her kids in front of her while she's still alive. That's not a very pretty picture, is it?
Oh, I'm here.
You're here where? At the police department? Is that the just results of what you just did?
What do you mean just results?
Well, is that what you expected to happen after you did what you did today? You made a conscious decision to put the gun back in the backpack. Was that to try to hide it in case you got stopped?
I was fucked anyway.
So why did you take the coward's way out and kill other people?
I don't think you understand.
I don't.
And frankly, I don't.
I don't think you understand the tragedy and the travesty that you've created for this family.
I could understand it, but not feel it. So that's a problem.
Do you have any remorse
Yes, I have remorse.
about what you did today?
I'll do anything to take it back from me. I haven't to accept that it happened.
No, it happened. It's very real. This isn't a dream. You're not living in a dream world. This is a real world right now. And you killed a little boy, shot 3 other people. And the interesting thing is that this game you're trying to play about saying, this whole attitude of there was a higher power making me do something, or I didn't understand what I was doing. You saw the guy sitting in the truck and he had made eye contact with you. You made perfectly clear to you that he saw you shoot this lady. So what'd you do? You shot him too. Because you didn't want him to be a witness to what he just saw.
That's not true. You're painting your own picture, man.
Well, it's what happened. You telling me that's not true?
You're saying,
Well, explain it to me. If I'm painting my own picture, you tell me what the picture, how's that picture wrong?
the whole thing just happened so fast. Had no control.
You had no control. You had all
It
the
wouldn't have happened.
You had all the control. You had all the
It
control.
wouldn't have happened if I had control.
You had all the control in the world over this thing this afternoon. You were the one that controlled this whole thing this afternoon.
But never.
I think this has been a fantasy of yours.
One that I've been trying to prevent, and not this. This is bullshit. Shouldn't have happened.
No, it shouldn't have happened. I'll agree with you on that. It happened because you got pissed off.
It happened because I had a gun with me.
I know it. Because you had a gun with you and you got pissed off. This wasn't a random lady you picked out of nowhere to go shoot. This lady pissed you off. You didn't follow this lady into that parking lot and shoot her because she didn't do anything. You followed this lady into that parking lot because she cut you off. Right?
No,
That's not right?
it's not right.
She didn't cut you off?
50 people cut me off in a day. No,
Well, why did you choose her to go kill her then?
I didn't choose anybody.
Well, she's the person that ends up with bullets in her. I guess I'm just trying to get a little honesty out of you.
What you think is honest.
What I think is honest.
Right.
What do
What's in
you
your head?
What do you think is honest?
I don't like this adversarial questioning. This guy was better at your job.
All right.
I don't know.
Because
Yeah.
you finally don't like a little pressure put on you about what you're being held responsible for and what you're going to be held responsible for.
I don't know what you want from me.
We trying to get back at somebody today?
Fuck no.
You know, we've talked to your mom.
Yeah.
What kind of relationship do you think you have with your mom? I think she's pretty disappointed in you.
Yeah, well, that's for sure. Surprised though?
That doesn't surprise you.
No, I'm asking if she was surprised. What she said.
We didn't tell her exactly what had happened yet.
Okay.
Actually, the media had already called her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Was this part of your goal? Was to become famous?
My goal was to get through the workday and go home today and see my cat and wake up tomorrow and do the same thing, and then sign a new lease on a house on Saturday, which was a struggle, but I figured out the deposit and.
So what's your long-term goal? What was your long-term goal? Did you have any?
Sorry?
Did you have any?
No, I mean, my goal more recently, my goal has just been to try to find happiness. But it's elusive.
So you couldn't find happiness, so you thought you'd go out and inflict enough terror on somebody's family to ruin their lives?
Absolutely not. I didn't plan anything. I didn't have any intentions. My only intention today was to work my balls off, tearing up a fucking floor for too little money, and just drive home and go to sleep and wake up tomorrow and do it again. Gradually, things will get better as long as I do the next right thing.
Till some lady cuts you off in trouble.
How the timeline went, but it's fucking retarded.
The detectives are trying to push Webster to the breaking point. In my opinion, they almost succeeded at this point, but this speaks only of a lump of rage inside and problems controlling angry emotions. A person with bipolar disorder in an active stage would not be able to sit still, would jump up, his speech would be less coherent, he himself would try to have a dialogue with the detectives and not just answer their questions.
I drank a lot of alcohol, I took a lot of Robitussin, tried.
Well, you must not have tried very hard.
Yeah, not hard enough, maybe.
Most people, when they try to commit suicide and don't do it, are just trying to get attention. We're seeking attention. Is that what you were doing?
Oh, there might be some all of that, but what I really wanted at the time was to die, but that I wasn't sure what would come next. So I figured maybe I can salvage this life.
You weren't sure what would come next, meaning what?
Heaven, hell, nothingness.
So maybe there is a real hell, and that's what scared you off?
No, it was the nothingness. I don't believe in any hell other than this one here on earth. The one that we're living in.
So do you want me to believe that you're insane?
I don't care what you believe because I don't like you.
Okay, but I'm just trying to draw this thing out a little bit. So we'll try to figure out what happened today.
What I want is truth and justice. So all of the information will come forward.
You want truth and justice for who?
For them, but also for me. Which is fucking retarded. I just wish I locked myself up. Or didn't buy a gun. Those things.
So are you telling me that there were no voices in your head telling you to go kill somebody today?
That's a very ridiculous way of putting it. Voices in the head.
Well, maybe in your situation, I've had lots of people tell me they have voices in their head. Some people tell me they have voices in their head. Don't tell them to go kill people. Did that happen to you? Do you have voices in your head?
I can't tell whether my voice or these other layers of thinking are I don't know. This is kind of the type of thing I should be talking to my doctor about. And should have talked to my doctor about. I understand your perspective. Know what you're trying to do.
Well, I'm trying to figure out if you're sane or not.
I don't know where the line is of insanity.
Okay. Does having knowing the distance between right and wrong have anything to do with that?
Yeah, it does. I just didn't feel like I was there.
But you still say you're knowing the difference between right and wrong.
Right now, yeah. First then, I didn't know anything. I didn't know where I was, who I was, what's going on, why this lady said this.
And you weren't under the influence of any intoxicating beverages or liquor or drugs or anything else?
No, I've been sober for a few months now.
So you weren't just so enthralled with your anger over the traffic thing? I mean, that's what it looks like to me.
Me too.
That was part of it. But
I mean, you made for somebody to be insane, okay, you made some really conscious decisions about things beforehand and then afterwards. That leads me to believe that you actually knew exactly what you were doing today.
I definitely didn't. So I wouldn't fucking do it. No way. Period. I wouldn't.
You say I wouldn't do it. Well, who did it then?
Fucking devil.
So you're saying the devil made you do it?
I'm saying I'm the devil.
Just because you did such a heinous act?
No, I've been the devil since I was born.
Why? Is that the way your parents treated you?
No, it's just all been revealed to me through fucking little clues. Like, random lyrics and numbers and...
But come on, in reality, you know that you're not the devil.
No, I literally think that I'm Antichrist.
The Antichrist isn't the devil.
Whatever. I'm all of them.
But yet,
The devil won today, and I lost. And the devil lives inside of me. And now, I'm trying to fight it.
your mom did say one thing that was fairly interesting. She said that you really have an anger issue.
What?
An anger issue.
I've worked with anger problems.
So she's right about that.
Yeah. I get angry.
Sometimes so angry to the point of losing control.
It's not always anger that does that.
But sometimes it is.
Any external stimuli that's overwhelming.
So you tell me, do you think you're insane?
I do. I believe I'm fucked in the head. I believe that I should have been locked up in a loony bin.
Well, why would they lock you up? What would you have done to make them lock you up? I'm not that sure that that's all that much insane. Okay? That's a lot. I just don't want to take the pain anymore. I wanted to kill you. Kill him.
I can't differentiate real from not real.
Do you know the difference between right and wrong?
It's ambiguous. Like, I feel what happened today was obviously wrong. But in general, that's a tough question, right or wrong. Because there's right and wrong, and then there's pure evil. Today was pure evil.
Today was pure evil.
Did you do this to prove to the world and your doctor that you've got problems?
Fuck no. My God, no. All I wanted was to build a decent life for myself.
When she pissed you off, and is that what you were thinking? I'm going to show her.
No, I wasn't thinking any.
You had to raise that gun and point it at her and pull the trigger several times. Very conscious decisions, several steps and processes to do that. It just doesn't happen in a snap of a finger.
No, maybe the answer's somewhere in between. Maybe I am fucked in my head. You guys can't convince me that I'm not insane.
How old are you? 23. And yet you've gone through 23 years of life and never done anything wrong?
I'm plenty wrong. You guys will find out.
Well, you don't have a criminal record.
Yeah, because,
How are we going to find out if you haven't been arrested? Who's going to come forward and tell me the things you've done wrong?
right.
Who should I talk to that's going to tell me these things?
Oh, I see. My bad. My brother's probably the person to talk to. He'll give you the best full picture of what I'm like. Right. That's that's what I'm never able to. Don't want to die. Like a walking contradiction. Cognitive dissonance.
Well, you know, some of the language and some of the ideas, like the psychology that you've studied, obviously you've read up a little bit about it.
Yeah, I was always wondering if I could learn about what's wrong with me.
When did you first realize there was something wrong?
Like 3 years old.
Well, I don't think you recognize it at 3.
Well, my parents did. I saw a psychologist since I was 2 or 3 because the psychologist told my parents that I was suicidal as a 3-year-old.
This is out east.
Yeah, New Jersey.
Do you feel like you got picked on in school?
No, I kind of could have been picked on, but I don't know. I found a weird niche where no one really messed with me too much.
Why?
Well, I was pretty nice to most people. You know, I didn't cause trouble or get in fights. You know, mostly wasn't a bully, but you know, I remember some times that I was a bully.
Did your parents discipline you?
No, I think mostly not. I think like in their own way, you know, but not physically and not like a lot of groundings or
So you didn't feel like you were abused?
not physically abused. I was, you know, maybe a little neglected in certain ways, but it was not.
So there's no physical abuse that you're looking back on and saying, I got some post-traumatic stress going on because I was abused as a kid.
Why would I talk about that?
Because the last guy that killed somebody told me that. I thought I'd ask you.
Sure. Um, maybe there have been some things, but
Do you think you're a sociopath?
some varying. I think I love animals. Anyways,
So you don't find yourself abusing animals or watching them die or anything like that?
no, I love animals. I want to save all the animals.
Just people you don't like, huh?
Well, in general, I guess, but I'm really trying.
Did you ever have imaginations or visions of becoming a serial killer?
To what extent? Like picturing yourself, or
Yeah. So that's something you've ever fantasized about, being a serial killer, getting away with killing people. Sociopaths don't have a lot of regret feelings.
I have trouble with some. I feel a lot of stuff. I just have trouble putting it into words sometimes. I feel disconnected from things, but I know.
So it's hard for me to understand how you can kill somebody and say you still have feelings.
It goes back to just I lost myself. I wasn't there. No presence of mind.
But yeah, you could drive a car. You could follow traffic laws. You could keep from getting in an accident.
I can do that in driving.
Did you actually, after you shot these people, go back to the house and go back to work? Or did that actually happen before the shooting?
Oh, I had to finish work. I didn't know what to do. I knew, you know, the cops would be looking for me, but I'm just so exhausted. I'm not thinking straight.
But you did. Is that what you're telling me? You went back to work and finished your job?
Yeah, I just wanted to finish, and I wanted everything to just go away.
Anything you want to say to us now that we're about done? You never really did answer the question. What is justice out of this for this family?
Oh, like I said, I'll die, or I'll go to jail forever, or I'll
Well, that's the consequences. What's the justice out of this for this family? But then,
You mean,
what's their justice?
kind of the problem, right?
So they don't have any justice out of this whole thing after what you've done.
Well, I don't know how they, I don't know.
Nope.
You got anything else you want to say to us?
You guys don't understand. That's all. I'd do anything to take this all back. I was trying to be a better person, a different kind of person. Not someone who would do this in a million years. I lost myself. I wasn't there. I wasn't present in becoming insane slowly but surely. I think it's schizophrenia or schizoaffective, but nothing. Ultimately, they shouldn't have happened. Because
Well, you know you're right about one thing.
What?
They shouldn't have happened. And I think you're using a big cop out trying to justify in your mind why this is.
I'm expecting to see my
Well, yeah.
Okay, you asked me what's going to happen. You're going to go to the Adams County Jail tonight, and you're going to be charged with murder and attempted murder.
And then from there, when do I get like a hearing, or when can I call for a lawyer?
You'll be notified by the judge after you're formally charged, and you'll be given some information that'll let you know all of those. Okay.
Okay.
Anything else you want to tell me?
I just don't like I know.
I'm sorry, they want me to ask you what your phone is with. Who's the carrier on that?
Xfinity Mobile.
Is it under your name?
Yeah.
All right, hang tight, all right?
And when do I get a phone call?
When they take you over to the booking room and take a photograph of you and that, there's a phone in there which you can make your calls there.
Okay.
Right. Who do you want to call?
Probably my mom.
He does not look like a sociopath. He experiences the situation too acutely. Nausea and vomiting in such moments are more characteristic of emotionally unstable people than those without emotions. I have enough videos with sociopaths on my channel, there is nothing like that there. But he was fully aware of his actions as well. Many of us have problems expressing anger, even more people cut each other off at least once a week. But few people get the idea to chase the offender and shoot. Jeremy underwent several psychiatric examinations, as a result of which his sanity at the time of committing the crime was proven, and the previously diagnosed bipolar disorder was questioned. Webster was found guilty on all counts and will spend the rest of his life in prison.